Tonight, after weeks of hints, former President Trump weighing in on abortion, declining to call for a national ban, instead saying it should be up to states to decide on any restrictions.
The states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people.
Also stating his own view.
I am strongly in favor of exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother.
Mr. Trump's announcement creating intense bipartisan backlash.
Donald Trump just endorsed every single state ban on reproductive care nationwide. If MAGA Republicans put a federal ban on his desk, he'd sign it. Donald Trump is the reason Roe's ended. If you reelect me, I'll be the reason why it's restored.
Some of the things that we had started gathering for her while I was pregnant.
Yep. This Biden campaign ad blaming Mr. Trump after a woman in Texas was denied care under that state's restrictive law. While Mr. Trump's former VP, Mike Pence, slamming him for not calling for a national ban, writing, quote, President Trump's retreat on the right to life is a slap in the face to the millions of pro-life Americans who voted for him in 2016 and 2020. The Supreme Court, with 3 Trump-appointed justices, struck down Roe v. Wade in 2022, returning the issue to the states, where some now have near-total abortion bans. Others have no restrictions. But just 36% of Americans support the overturning of Roe, according to an NBC News poll, and the issue has energized Democrats. For Mr. Trump, today's announcement is the latest step in a long public evolution on abortion.
I'm very pro-choice.
I'm pro-life.
We will agree to a number of weeks, which will be where both sides will be happy.
Meanwhile, Garrett, former President Trump made an 11th-hour bid to delay his Manhattan hush money trial. What can you tell us?
That's right, Lester. Mr. Trump's attorneys asked today for a change of venue due to pretrial publicity in Manhattan. But an appeals court judge late today denied that request, meaning jury selection is still on track to start on Monday. Lester?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.